Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Jedi Academy on the Reality Skewed Gamers channel. Episode 100. I cannot believe you've got to episode 100. Holy moly, can you believe this? And if you're new and this is your first episode, then you'll need to know that this is a Q&A show. And this is where we bring the best and the brightest of YouTubers and game changers all together into one giant panel to answer all your questions. This is a Q&A show, and the way it works is if you have a question, all you need to do is put your question in chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement, and of course the great Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, will scoop it up. Dr. Finn, 100 episodes. My God, what's wrong with us?
I feel old.
I feel very old. I mean, just so old. Who would have thought way back in the day? And shout out to he's not here today, but Smithy D. He started this nonsense a long time ago, and then we just kind of took over it, and we've been running it ever since. So shout out to Smithy D, wherever you are, buddy. I know you just had a baby. So
this was his brainchild for when he started it, and we hope we're doing him proud by kind of continuing it the way we have.
Yeah, we've done it for 100 episodes. Good Lord, 100 episodes. Of course, I never thought we'd get to 100 episodes of RSG, but that's a whole different animal altogether. So, boy, oh boy, folks, children of all ages, do we have an amazing panel for you today. We've got pretty much everybody we could find, and we even found some people off the street to be on the panel today. So, good Lord, a lot of people on. We're just going to start going down the list and introducing everybody. I think that would just be the easiest thing because there's so many of them. As I am getting bombarded in Discord with messages. Oh my God. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Let's go through the list here. I'm going to make sure I got everybody, but let's make sure. We'll just start from the top and work our way down. We've got the lovely Jedi Master Dasher with us here today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yep, happy 100.
Thank
Woo!
you. Yes. Also join us, he's been here for a long time, all the way from across the pond, Sir Michael W. Huntington.
Happy Centenary Day.
Thank you, sir. Also join us, a longtime friend of the show and just a friend in general, Mr. Ramon Azab. And he's muted. Damn it, Ramon. Every time. It's tradition. It's a great day for Canada and therefore the world. Oh, God. It just wouldn't be a show without somebody muting. Oh, jeez. Also joining us from the RC crew. Been with us a long time. One of our dearest friends. And the lightsaber builder extraordinaire, the sexy bit himself, Sir Loki, is here.
What's up? Happy 100th.
You sound so enthused. You must have just woken up. Damn it, Loki. Go get some coffee and get in a better...
I can't
it's
hear
brewing.
you.
Oh, Ramon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
He had a delayed stream.
Ramon, yes, we can hear you, Ramon. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. It just wouldn't be 100 episodes without technical difficulties. Oh, my God. Finn, help him. Help him, Finn. God. Jeez. Also joined us. He's been here with us a long time. He's on the road on his way to work, but he never misses a beat. The great Warrior from Warrior Presents.
How's it going?
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No, I cannot hear you, Riemann. Not at all.
No, you know what it is. I plugged my headset in and it changed the input, so I couldn't hear anybody. I didn't even. I was like checking the show on YouTube to see if it was even on yet. You know what I mean? Like, and then I heard you calling my name, and I was like, oh man,
God.
You know. But yeah, I'm here. So.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you here, especially for the 100th episode. Also join us, a panelist and a longtime friend, RSG crew homie, crew member, and my fellow MC warrior, the one and only King Felix.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Century Day thing.
Thank you. Also part of the crew and has his own YouTube channel, but he's on the pin a lot, and we're glad to have him, is the Stoner Jedi himself, Xylo Takedown.
What's up, everybody? Congratulations, you guys.
That's right. the shit.
It's not you guys, it's all of us. Damn, this wouldn't happen without all of you guys
Yeah,
here.
really. It'd just be me and Finn. And we would have
You're
called.
all very welcome. I carry the show when I come on once a month.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Shout out MC too, real quick there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, MC representing. So, did I miss anybody? That got quite a lot. Good old Maurice was here. Where the hell did he go?
Riemann broke his computer, so he's trying to get back in.
God dang it. Good old Maurice, get your monkey butt back in here. Damn it.
You know, after he did the little introduction for us, he put a picture. He like pretty much blue screen.
Oh man.
God.
He's like, I started hearing Ramon, and then all of a sudden it blue screen, so Ramon broke my computer.
Oh my God. Oh boy. So quite a lot of awesome, amazing panelists. Some of these guys have been with us since the beginning when we started this. Some have come on later on. But they've all been here in some form or another. And, shout out to all, especially in the chat. Let's thank all the council members for being here. Because, they don't get paid to do this. They just come here because they love the game. They love you guys. They do it on their own time to answer your questions. They get up early on Saturday mornings. And they're here to answer your questions. So big shout out to all of our, I'd like to say our Jedi Council here, for doing what they do for you guys. So thank these guys for being here. We've made it to 100 episodes. It's pretty crazy. Who would have thought that back in the day that this would be what it has become? So, but let's continue on like we always do. And if you guys have any questions that you want to do, any reflection memories or anything like that in the chat, you can throw those questions in there as well. But let's do like we always do. We're going to treat this academy just like anything else. We're here to answer your questions. So again, get those in. Dr. Finn is scooping those up. But the big news this week was, of course, the Ebon Hawk. We got introduced to the ship. It's a chase. We got the little video with HK-47. I throw it to the panel, the Council of E-Jedi, of anything that they, from the news this week or anything that they want to talk about.
I better go with Ebon Hawk, and I've only actually run it once. Ran it against a kind of mirror squad. Really impressed. I've got mine to 5-star, so I've maxed the reinforcement ability, and the fleet I faced had Sunfac come in from the bench, which ordinarily would tie up a Cassian reinforcement. I used the Ebon, and with the removal of buffs plus the ability block, I was able to shut down the Sunfac and get the win. I was for a debut for me. It was stunning because I actually won, but I was very impressed with the ship. Very impressed.
Anybody else about the ship that they've had a chance? Are they going for it? Or they had a chance to do anything with it? Any thoughts on the ship?
I'm going for it, but I'm just going to break the ice with the question that's really on everybody's mind here, and that's what Ranger's thoughts are on whether or not the Ebon Hawk signifies the coming of the Eternal Twins in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Why you got to ruin the show?
Happy
like
100th Jedi Academy, Ranger.
Damn, Riemann, you're gonna just piss me off right off the back and just bring up that crap. I thought you really were gonna go with the whole Darth, our Lord and Savior Revan, but no, you had to go and bring that nonsense in here.
Ranger loves Jedi Revan. I mean,
yeah, about as much as I love hot magma running up and down my butt. So,
Wasn't that a Harry Carey product?
Yes, it was actually. It's a skin and a topical cream. Liquid hot magma. It's great for your skin. You got psoriasis, you won't have it anymore after putting that crap on. Why take a pill when you can use liquid hot magma? Well, we know. Listen, Revan's coming. Me and Finn are both convinced it's going to be the 20th. It could come sooner, but I think that's the date that they're looking at. And we got kind of a little tease with that HK-47 meat bag thing. So we know there's going to be a rework for him. I mean, everybody thought it was going to be this week they do the rework, but it's probably going to be next week that we'll get the HK rework, and then the week after that will be Revan. I mean, it's coming. I mean, they're still in the Knights of the Old Republic game with the characters. I think they're rounding it off. I'll put it up to the panel. Thoughts on this?
Do you think that HK is the 5th character?
Mm-hmm. I really think he's going to get the Old Republic tag. Or they're going to have some tags. I mean, we saw the leaked footage. I mean, I don't think anybody on the panel here thinks we're getting a 3 Zeta Piggy Gamorrean Guard. As,
No.
You know, anybody want to argue that point? Because I don't think it's coming.
Well, so,
Hey, wouldn't that be a real twist, though, right?
Not really. It would be a twist that would cause Ranger to leave the game. Really? I have to put 3 Zetas Pig? I'm done. I'm out.
but I think another interesting thing to think of is, once we find out when the event's coming is, there's going to be some synergy with Revan, right? And him having a Zeta and the rework. And the question is if it's going to come before or after, and if they're noting that he's going to be the 5th character for the event with his rework or before his rework. So
I'm wondering if light side Revan will work with dark side Revan on the same team.
Ooh.
could be possible. Or
I'm sure people
Revan
will
redeemed.
try. It was just like when Treya came out, the first thing, let's throw GK with her and random stuff.
GK goes with everybody.
Yep.
There's 5
Oh,
Hans.
yeah, there's gonna be some interesting combos. I'm sure.
I was really hoping. I was really hoping he was just going to be a light side and a dark side character. I really didn't want them to come up with 2 versions of it, but
Well, we got 5 versions of Han.
But this makes them more money.
yeah, of course.
I mean, we got 5 versions of Han, for God's sakes. I mean, I remember someone once told
We can get 3 Revans.
I remember when we got the 5th Han, someone's like, hey, we should run 5 Hans in PvP, man. It should be great. No, it's not going to be great. What are you talking about? Stop it.
Well, the one thing about this is we know what he's going to look like, right? I mean, the light side Revan is up for debate because they're, that's kind of like
It was very much an interpretation of the character,
right.
But Darth Revan, there's no interpretation. It's the outfit, it's the 2 sabers, it's what he looks like,
Right.
So.
I thought they did a good job with the light side one. I thought it was a cool design.
Well, they took it from the
I
game.
agree.
It was robes from the game. So I mean, it's not like they had to do a little bit of tweaking here and there with the costume and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with it per se with the look.
I'm wondering if they better give him 2 lightsabers for Darth Revan, right? Because if they're
to.
making Jedi Revan with the purple lightsaber, you have to give him the purple.
Unless
and
they
red
go
one for
just
Darth
go
Revan.
red, or he just holds the one red behind him.
But it's so much cooler when he's holding both of them.
But
right?
I know, but that's Revan, not Darth Revan. That's just good old fashioned. I'm not light side, I'm dark side. I'm just Revan.
Hey, don't
I'll
worry.
do what I want.
Revan will be next. Next year you'll get Revan.
Revan.
Then we'll have the 3 Revans. Yes.
Oh, God.
And all 3 of them in one team will be able to beat every composition of all teams.
Yes.
It comes like the Revan comes in with the other 2, and it says it has an I win button. If you use this ability, it's a 7 cooldown. You win automatically. Like
Darth Revan better have some cool animations, man.
absolutely.
I bet he will.
He better be awesome.
He has to be. He has to be, because if not, there will be much pitchforks. The mob will be angry.
Imagine it's the exact same moves as like the light side Revan.
Oh no! People will go bananas. People will go bananas. Oh my god! So, Adastra, are you excited for Darth Revan?
Hey, my Jedi will still kick his butt, so...
It's what you think.
I'm on to slow down that idea. I have a feeling that, and I love my Jedi too, but they're gonna die.
It's just gonna be Sith and Jedi in the arena from the looks of it.
Yeah, it'll be. But we need it. You guys saw the latest meta
You'll just have
report.
to change up your Jedi Knight Revan team. I mean, instead of Bastel, you'll have to put in Eth Koth, and then you'll be fine.
Eth Koth, Finn, shame on you.
to take out the
how's your
HK-47.
Koth coming, Ranger?
Yeah, Eth Koth is great.
He's gonna take out HK. Watch, he's gonna be the HK killer.
He's never even gonna get a turn. He's just gonna be sitting in the background like, I have a lightsaber. I'm good.
You know you can summon him with all the other Jedi.
I'm
right?
gonna go do an attack. I hit for 5. I'm awesome.
I am still disappointed I didn't get to fight a bunch of General Grievous squads. I was looking forward to that.
Well,
let's not talk about the general.
Yeah, friends don't let friends talk about General Grievous.
The Jedi killer.
Don't talk about Grievous around him.
Like my Eth Koth was ready and Iwagandi was ready.
Oh God, Mike can talk about that one because he got a full refund on his crap for all the GG stuff he invested in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah, it is. I just went. Someone highlighted to me the Reddit post where CG Carry pretty much held her hands up and said, "Yeah, just submit a ticket and we'll process it." So yeah, that's what I did.
And now he has more stuff to put on other things. It's a disappointment. I really wish the droids had been really good, but alas,
they're not awful. They're not awful. In my most recent last night's Grand Arena, my Separatist droids took out a Kira lead solo team, but with a Zeta Nest, and I lost Magna Guard. But otherwise, they absolutely.
So really good.
So I mean, they've got spaces. They're just crap against CLS, against Jedi, weirdly, and Treya. Just don't go near them, and you should be good.
All right, Finn. I'm sure we've gotten a buttload of questions at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
let's keep them questions coming. Remember we're going up until noon, so you guys noon Eastern time, so we have plenty of time for you guys to get in your questions. So now's the time to get them.
Also, side note, I am going to do my Grand Arena today. So what we're going to do is 4 Eastern. I think we're going to set it up, Finn, or if it hasn't been set up already.
We'll set up a different video at the end. We'll talk more about it.
At the end of the thing. So just heads up, we'll be doing that today because people have been asking. So, all right, let's just start getting to these questions. Warrior, are you still on the road, or are you able to take a question, homie?
I'm ready to go, man.
Oh my God, Kai, you get to work fast. Speed racer. Yeah. Driving the Mach 5 in Colorado somewhere. Yep. All right, first question to Warrior, if you would, please, Surfinity.
Okay, first question from Dan B. Anyone have a strategy to beat the Nest in the Bounty Hunter event? I have Bosk, Boba, Greedo, Zam, Cad, and Dengar geared.
Yep. So you want to take in 2 or 3 stunners, preferably 3 stunners, and all of them do debuffs, and you have to basically save your high DPS hit until she comes out of stun. You basically put her into stun, and you keep her there. If she's stunned already, don't use a stun ability. Save it until she comes out of stun. When she comes out of stun, a lot of times she'll take a turn, and she'll chop somebody and expose them, but she doesn't kill them. And she'll have like anywhere from 5 to 8 debuffs over her head due to her being stunned, and then just totally stacked a bunch of debuffs. When she comes out, you should be able to one-shot her with like Boba Fett's Execute. If it almost kills her but doesn't kill her, same thing, stun her, stack debuffs, wait till she comes out of stun, and then smack her with something heavy-duty again. That's the only way to really do it that I've seen, is just to keep her in stun mode and stack debuffs, and then do like a super massive hit to try and take as much protection as possible. For me anyway, it takes 2 or 3 really huge hits to actually kill her, but you have to keep her in stun. To that note, she has really high tenacity. I believe it's at 100 in the game, because anybody that has 60 to 80 potency is going to have a very difficult time applying that stun that you normally would be able to apply on other characters. So you're going to have a pretty potent team, but if you've got a potent team, you should be able to go in and just keep her in stun lock, and every time she comes out, you'll be able to kind of one-shot her, even though she will retaliate. I would also get your taunt up, so that way the hit when she comes out of stun goes to your Bosk.
All right. Next question for Lady Adastra.
Okay. And I think what we can do, Ranger, is since we have so many people, right, we'll give the question to one person, but if anyone wants to chime in afterwards, they can provide their feedback too.
Sure, yeah.
Give everyone a chance to
They do
comment.
that anyway, Finn. Where have you been for the last 100 episodes?
More official. We're making it officially.
What do you mean? It's always been that way. Official.
All right. Adastra, here's the question from RSG Vormax. I'm using Ezra in my Jedi Knight Revan team. Should I also mod Ezra with offense mods like Grandmaster Yoda? Most Revan teams use GK, thus making critical damage mods almost useless.
No, I would say you could go a crit damage set with crit chance. He has a high base crit chance, so it's easier to get it up there. Like mine, I have him at least 60%, might be 70, and I'm able to crit fairly often. I mean, when obviously the crit immunity isn't up, but his special removes buffs, so it comes in handy that you can get a very powerful hit, because since it removes that crit immunity, you're gonna get the crit if you have the crit chance on him. So I would highly recommend a crit damage for him because he is a very good damage dealer, especially being able to do that double hit. Has the assist call with Yoda. I mean, you can get some really high damage with the crit damage set. Again, just make sure you get some crit chance on him, and it's easy to do. And then you have the Revan lead that, of course, adds to that. So you actually have a pretty high chance to land crits with him. And just add some offense, what offense you can too. Like at least have 3K offense if you're going that route. And whatever speed in there too, of course.
Yes. All right. Next to the Queen's bodyguard, Michael W. Hunt.
Okay. Question from Mr. Space Bear. What's the deal with Grand Arena seasons? Seems like they could do really cool stuff like post rankings, bonuses, reward changes, etc. So what do you think of Grand Arena, Mike?
Grand Arena, I like the concept. I don't like the pressure that I heap upon myself doing it. I feel that I've kind of put an expectation level on me through all the vids I've uploaded over the years. And yeah, so I don't enjoy that aspect, but I do enjoy the actual gameplay. Does that make sense?
No.
I also think they
yourself.
should change the name of it. I think they should also change it to it's Mod Wars. Because so much of it is down to how you mod the characters. Because let's face it, we all have the same core, so the actual characters themselves are pretty much identical. What changes them are the mods that we all have. I know I've reached out to someone beforehand that I faced, and it's like, mate, fantastic roster. I'm 5 million now, just over. Fantastic roster, but I think 60 was his top secondary speed tune. It's like, you need to work on mods just to get but that's what it is, isn't it? Well, that's my experience anyway. Best mods win.
Yeah, in a sense, it's a part of it. All right, next question to the Flint Stoner Jedi. Well, just Stoner Jedi. I was trying to think of something cool, but I can't. Xylo, put your princess on.
All right. Question from Doja-san. Do you think CG allowed for too much time to prepare for Darth Revan? As free-to-play, I'm almost 7-star with all the new Old Republic teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Me and DJ talked about this one a little bit, and I've been ready myself since the beginning of February because of all the speculation of the characters and the first go around with Jedi Revan, and I agree with the fact that it was too much time. So that also leads into the speculation of possible gear check too as well with the Chewbacca and this 3PO event. You need a lot of gear, and you've had the characters for a fair amount of time. Plus, you get a lot of benefit from the characters too as well. like you're switching out your Kira stall teams for your Karth leads now, even at a lower star level. And Johanni's a great piece in that team too as well. Candrace is a fun player, fun, stretch PvE kind of player too that you can put into like those Vader teams or DAW teams. So it's kind of like, in my opinion, I think they're influencing that it's going to be a gear check too, especially since we've had HK47 since day one, right? He's a day one character, and it'll have some kind of gear check, in my opinion, if that's the case for the time frame. And I think they're trying to give the community a little more time too, because even though I got Jedi Knight Revan the first go around, a lot of people speculated that it was too soon and it's too much of a cash grab, and I think they're just trying to avoid that part of it this time around, and I think they're doing a great job with it. It gives everybody a chance to get a grab, and even Operation Metaverse covered that about 30% of the population that did their survey are going to get Darth Revan or Darth whoever free to play because they've invested their time and resources and saved up, and I think it's great. I think it's great for the community, and it gives everybody a chance to grab the new meta, so.
All right, let's see here. Next question to Ramon.
All right, question from Ramon from member Tauntauns. Do you think we will need Ebon Hawk for legendary event? Do you think this is a distraction?
I think it's distraction. I think it's just kind of everybody's expecting the Revan events, and I think that it's kind of clearly the HK video really doesn't help distract much, to be honest with you, because it kind of shows that HK is getting a rework, so some of the theories or some of the speculation is correct, but I think that it's kind of a way to get you to focus on maybe spending some of your resources on trying to maximize the Ebon Hawk right now. And I really think it's just trying to kind of close out the whole Old Republic thing for the time being. Because again, we're coming into a time now where I think after the Revan event, they're going to probably stay away from Old Republic for a little while, at least a long while, because I think we're going to be getting some content for upcoming Star Wars movies, shows, things like that. I think we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. The Disney streaming service is going to be having that show, The Mandalorian. They've got more episodes of the Clone Wars coming. We've got a new saga film coming at the end of the year. I'm sure they're going to be spending a lot of their time and resources kind of promoting all that stuff. So I think they're just going to try to kind of wrap up all this Old Republic stuff in a bow here, so that coming into April, May, June, they can maybe focus on maybe Clone Wars stuff, and then kind of go into the end of the year with a full throttle kind of promotion of the new movie, new saga film that's coming out.
All right. Next question to the sexy boot himself, Loki.
Okay. Question for Loki from Max Dog. Trying to build a good 5v5 Karth team. Any non-Old Republic I can use in that team?
I think the only one I don't use is I use Nest as a 5th. So I do what's my team right now? Is it Karth lead with Ordo and Mission, Zalbar, and Nest. I think right now is probably the best one I've seen. And faced against, it's tricky. I mean, throwing Nest as a 5th is always tricky in that team, but it does the job. It slows down the other team with the days, and then you'll just get a bunch of AOEs and triple taps and all that from the rest of the team. It's weak against another team that has retribution or can counter, but I think for the most part, it's a solid 5th is Nest on it.
All right. Next, King of the Wall of Frontier, Felix.
Okay. I'll ask this to Felix, and then we can go around the corner a little bit because it does fit in with what Ramon was saying earlier. We have two very similar questions from Joao Calvacanti, who asks, do we all agree that after Darth Revan this month, this KOTOR madness will end? And then we have Billy Gunn's question, will we get a break from KOTOR after Darth Revan?
I definitely think we will. I think this will kind of wrap it up. Maybe they'll revisit it in the future, but I really don't see too many other characters that they're going to bring out that will have the same fanfare as Revan's. There's a lot of great characters from KOTOR, but not that are as so widely known, I think, by the community. And I think he was right when he was saying that the Clone Wars is coming, Mandalore is coming, whatever other shows. The episode 9 is going to be here this year, so I think they're going to be full on doing all of that. And since there's really no new KOTOR content coming that I know of, I think they're going to transition after this Revan, or if it's Malik and then Revan, something like that. And then they're going to move on to hopefully a full-on Clone Wars reboot, maybe give Jedi Master Adastra her Jedi Council synergy that I know she's wanted for years.
Oh.
But I think Revan will pretty much wrap up the KOTOR for at least this year.
Okay. Back up top to your friendly neighborhood Scissorman.
Okay, so two things before that we get there. I have one question that's for Around the Corn, so I wanted to ask that first for everyone.
Wait a minute. Wait, I think we have a good old Maurice side.
That was the other part. We have a good old Maurice.
Good old Maurice.
Are you with us, good old Maurice?
Have you joined us?
Does this sound awful?
No, you sound fine.
I mean,
Are you just gonna pop in and out again,
yeah,
or
what the hell, man?
Depends on whether Ramon's gonna break his computer or not.
Yeah. The ghost of LS had the last laugh on that one, huh? All right. What's up, guys?
Let's give good old Maurice a
question
question
here for good old Maurice. So you actually came in at a good time. So I don't know if you heard what the last question was about KOTOR ending after Darth Revan. He was to respond for us. We have another question from What Else 73. What is the likelihood that we'll be getting 4 more Old Republic ships or an Old Republic capital ship this year due to the Ebon Hawk's Old Republic tag?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think this is probably a better question for the better lore masters. I mean, is there 4 other significant ships that could come into the game? I mean, is there enough of those that are like significant in the story? I mean, I played the first KOTOR long ago, but I mean, I don't remember really any ship at all except the Ebon Hawk. I mean,
the only thing they could do really is like make it a Sith event, and just have like Sith ships, and then eventually you get Malik's ship from that. That's the only thing I can imagine right now, anyway.
Yeah, Malik's ship is really the only other one that's really even like titled, right? The rest are just like generic little,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's been a while, but I hope not. I have enough ships, and I don't need any more.
You're going to get more ships, young man, and you're going to like it.
Well, I think everybody was expecting the Ebon Hawk no matter what, and I think that was the point of introducing it, right? And it has some great synergies with the ships that we use now, and it's got some more defensive viability in a meta that is so RNG based, right? So I think this ship's going to be able to kind of find its place in the meta now, and I think it's also a way for them to capitalize. Like right now, like that's them capping it off for KOTOR, other than the legendary event and the HK rework. And it's something that could possibly fit into the next meta, even with its viability and stretched faction rights. I mean, it gives the Falcon a little more durability when you use it as a reinforcement, or Cassian does, and then that gives the Houndstooth a little more survivability too. So I think it's going to be a really interesting ship.
Well, we got the droid tag for the ships too, and they haven't done anything with that yet. It's been several months since IG 2000, 2000 came out. So I mean, it's
true. And T3 is a droid too, yeah. So
I mean, just because there's a tag doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do something with it right away. I think they're just maybe keeping the door open for future possibilities. I don't know.
No, yeah, I mean, and the droids, like, they're so stretched out into other factions, right? Well, with ships, they're so limited. It's not IG 2000 and now this ship. They're the only 2 droid faction ships. They're not just as accessible plug and play ships, right? Like the IG-2000 has to be with the other bounty hunters, but this ship's a little more flexible.
The IG-2000 needs to be left in your bench because that ship sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god.
Definite third or fourth.
Or fifth. Or never.
The Ebon Hawk actually doesn't have a droid tag, though. It has a droid in it, but there's no droid tag on it.
That's even weirder. I mean, you'd think since T3 is one of the pilots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
these-
I mean,
these
Hopper
captains-
is part of it.
He's an astromech droid, and they're kind of dime a dozen and shit.
K2SO doesn't even, like, Cassian's ship doesn't have a droid tag, and K2SO was the
Oh, we totally forgot about K2 and Chopper, too. Yeah, I didn't even give them any love.
They're the two worst droids that have ever been in the team.
How dare you, sir?
I love Chopper. Chopper was my favorite character in Rebels.
You could throw Poe in there as well, couldn't you?
What?
Well, isn't what's his name? Doesn't
Poe is not a
Oh, shit.
droid.
Who?
No, but
BB-8's hanging on the ship.
Yeah. Maybe it's not one of the.
He's not a crew member, though, Mike.
He is a crew. He's a crew member
No,
for
but
Poe's
he's an
ship.
integral part. He becomes one with the ship. Ergo, the ship is part droid.
Oh
God.
my god!
You know what? Did somebody remove Mike? He's had too much tea and crumpets.
Thank you to everybody for putting up with Mike Hunt for 100 episodes.
Yeah, really. Why you do this, Mike? God.
All right. So the next question is around the core, and then we'll start with Warrior, and then we'll give Warrior his regular question too. But question from Varkesh for the panel: over 100 episodes, what have been your favorite moments or moments?
Well, over 2 years ago, my friend Smithy D got a hold of me and said, "You want to do a show?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, I've got an idea." And he said, "We're going to do a Q&A. What do you think?" I said, "Great." And I said, just us? Or are you going to have on guest panels or what?" And he was like, "Well, we'll just play it out and see if it's popular." And he said, "Do you want to do it on your channel or mine?" And I said, "I work every Saturday morning." And he said, "Then I'll host it on my channel." And I said, "Very good." And this was born. And that was my favorite part, is the fact that something that was born over 2 years ago was tiny and nothing has blossomed into this massive panel of experts, and the fun we have and everything like that, going from nothing to something huge is super fun. It's been a really interesting journey, so it's my favorite part.
Warrior he compared our show to a baby.
He's not wrong though. I mean, mine is similar to what Warrior said too, which is
Smithy D and I had a baby. It's just weird.
I didn't want to say it that way, Warrior,
got adopted, and this baby got adopted by you.
Yes,
so
by two loving.
Your baby. We're talking about the adoption process between Smithy D.
We adopted it, and it's ours. It's our child.
That's what I was gonna say though.
All you get is weekly visitation.
Ranger will remember this too. Like we were just starting out our streams and everything when Smithy had put this together, and we were still just trying to build the RSG channel. And we had talked with Smithy before, and Smithy is great. I mean, he was trying to help us too, and I think by that time we had done kind of a stream where we were streaming on our channel, but Smithy went live on his to kind of promote it on our channel. And Smithy was just awesome, and it actually gave us the opportunity to meet everybody in this chat, while we were still trying to develop our channel. And I think that whole experience was my favorite moment too, just being involved with Jedi Academy as it was starting and getting to know. At that time, I mean, Smithy and Warrior, you guys were huge compared to what we were, and it's like, oh man, we're on the same. We're doing a panel with Warrior and Smithy and all that. It was just awesome. So that was my favorite whole moment experience with Jedi Academy.
Yeah, my favorite moments have been the ones where Grandi is not on the panel. I think that says it all right there. There's only so much of that man I can take.
My favorite moment's easy because I remember many moons ago, one late night in Korea, I started chatting with Finity on the ship show in the live chat, and I was asking him a whole mess of questions, and then he sent me his Discord link. We started talking, and he said, "Why don't you just come on Jedi Academy a couple weeks later, and then I met all you wonderful and depraved people for the first time, and been on here as frequently as I can, traveling across the country or the world technically. And all you guys I would have never met before. It's pretty awesome that the community that this game has, and we can go online every Saturday morning and talk about something that we like to do.
I agree.
And I miss Grande.
No, you really don't. You really don't.
Actually, which I don't remember if it was on Jedi Academy when he was going for the chicken.
No, that was a lunch
That was
stream.
lunch. Yeah.
That was a lunch stream.
Man.
That was one of the best streams of all time.
Oh my god.
Guys, there's a chicken in the parking lot. You think
It was like one of the first streams I did with them, and I remember crying hysterically. It was hilarious.
Because he was doing his normal introduction. He's like, "What's up? What's up? This is your boy Grande. Wait, hey guys, there's a chicken." He actually sent me a screenshot. I was like, "Ranger, chicken." I'm like, "Okay, it's a chicken." And then he's like, "I'm following that chicken." Then it became like this news thing we started doing. Like, we go to our man Grande Patron out in the field. Grande Wakiti tells us, "Guys, there's a chicken." And then all of a sudden he's like, "I'm gonna catch that damn chicken. I wonder if I got a jacket here." I'm like, don't mess around with that chicken.
He keeps sending screenshots of us like chasing the chicken around the
right. He was chasing the
chicken. Oh my god!
Oh my god! It was unbelievable. He was determined to catch that cockadoodle. So
hey man, he's a big deal. And big deals catch chicken.
We got a question too from Operingo. He asked if Smithy D was one of the founders of Jedi Academy, why has he never appeared every now and then? And it's kind of it had to do with just his real life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Smithy had a lot of stuff going on, and so it became difficult for him to actually even do the stream, which is how we ended up kind of picking it up. We were doing it on our channel because, as you guys probably know, like what we do is primarily live streams. Like we don't do a lot of other videos, although we try to do some from time to time, but our main thing is live streaming. And so we kind of picked it up from Smithy D, and Smithy just had real life stuff going, and now he really doesn't play Galaxy of Heroes anymore. So obviously, he's not going to be able to answer any of your guys' questions. So
and
that was the main.
It's like 25 weeks. It was him and I and a few of you guys, and so like for the first like 5 months, it was just Smithy D basically. You know what I mean? Like his channel and all that kind of stuff. So it was all him. This just goes to show how long this show has been going, because he's becoming a figment of people's imaginations. Almost, it's been so long. He's becoming a mystery man.
Was Smithy real? We don't know.
Yeah. Was he real? But that just goes to show how long this show has been going on for. Pretty awesome.
It also is. I mean, it was originally just a few of us, and then now we have like a huge panel, which is really awesome. A lot of people have been kind of on the show now for a while, and I mean, it's really been a long time.
Yeah, it really has been. Anybody else?
Remon's been there since the beginning too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know every week my favorite part is when somebody asks questions I don't know. It takes me 2 or 3 minutes to basically say that I don't know and just pass it off to somebody else.
That happens a lot.
It's like, here, take this.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least you're honest.
Yeah, but he has to explain why he doesn't know. It's like, well, I didn't really work on the characters because I don't like them, and I was being lazy, and I had been drinking a lot that week, and the kids are saying, someone else take the question. Like, what the hell, good old Maurice?
Just example being the ship question you guys asked me as soon as I showed up today. I had no idea. So,
God,
I learned just as much being on here as anybody watching. That's what I like. I love having the opportunity to be on here, and just there's a lot of things I don't know. So a Dastra, Warrior, Remote, everybody on here. Mike Hunt. You got Felix, you got Xylo. Everybody has their own areas of expertise in the game. So I learned a lot myself being on here. That's pretty cool.
Felix knows hardly anything. He just can make it sound okay.
Yes.
I remember when I first heard about this show, called Jedi Academy. I was like, oh my god, that sounds amazing. All these other fans of the Jedi, and like, is this like a council of Jedi Masters? And they're like, not exactly. But it was so much fun getting to be on. Like, they had me as a guest. It was like back last year in August or so, and so it was a lot of fun, and getting to just I filled that role of being the Jedi person. So.
The show's kind of also evolved over time. I mean, now it's more of a a Q&A show. At first, it was more about like Smithy would spend about the first 15 minutes trolling the panel, and then there was it was always questions. But I'm saying it was a little bit a different format.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool though that it's gone through that too. Like it's a good history. I didn't know, that Smithy was one of the founders and just
He was the founder. He started it himself, and then
Smithy and Warrior.
The baby that was adopted has grown into adolescence now. Under the watchful eye of Ranger Infinity.
That's right. We've raised it right. Damn it! Don't judge us as parents.
Now it's in that awkward preteen stage in high school.
I know. He always wants to argue with us.
Just wait until they don't release another Revan, and then it's gonna have its first fight with his parents.
Right.
I was just gonna say, so here's to another 100 episodes, right?
Hell yeah! Cheers to that.
For real.
All right, Finn.
Okay, so let's get Warrior his question now.
Yeah.
So Warrior, question from Wargul 128. Just took mission to gear 12. Should I mod mission like Yoda with low speed and high offense, or offense with high speed, potency cross, offense cross? How should I mod mission?
Mission is one of those characters that is going to take a lot of turns if you have her Zeta, and so speed becomes a little bit less important. However, even if I say that, speed's always important because the faster someone is, the more turns they take. But what you really want is you want Mission to do a lot of damage every time, and then her damage will ramp up and get better and better and better. But it is of my belief that since she's doing physical damage and since she doesn't have a ton of abilities to crank up that crit chance right away, it takes a little bit of time, and she has kind of a naturally, it's not as good, I think, as you would hope to have it. That you definitely want to focus on kind of a crit chance, crit damage style. Obviously, offense is important, but me personally, I've got her hitting for 30K right out the gate, and she goes up to 45, 50K as the battle progresses. I have a speed arrow. I have a crit damage triangle. I've got an offense cross or an offense plus, and then I have a health, but you could use protection on the circle. And then I have a crit damage set, and I was going to do a crit chance set, but I have just a tenacity cross in there because it was a really good one with decent speed secondary. I have her around 242, which I guess would be relatively fast, because more, like I said, the more turns she takes, the more damage she does. But with her ability, her Zeta, to be able to shoot every time that he takes his counter, but you want her critting, and so because of that, you definitely want, and she does physical damage, you definitely want your crit chance to be at least 40% minimum, preferably over 50%. I've got mine around 56% critical chance, so it's very consistent. But you could mod like Yoda in the sense is you could just go insane offense, but you definitely don't want to negate the critical damage because she's a physical damage dealer, and you can get her crit chance up pretty high, pretty easy. And you want to make sure you have a critical damage triangle, and the crit damage mod set would be preferable, I think. But yeah, try it both ways and see which one you like better.
All right. Next question for someone that survived the Jedi Purge, Lady Adastra.
All right. Question from Apropos Wooen. What is the best mod set for Plo Koon on a Revan team? What stats are okay?
Woo, Plo Koon! You actually don't really. It's kind of one of the plus sides to running him. He really doesn't need any great mods. Just throw whatever extra speed set you have on him, and then you can do like a health set or a tenacity set as the other one. But it's just, you really don't have to have him lightning fast because you're just gonna summon him. Yeah, that's the whole reason he's there, is for that chance to dispel stuff, because he has the chance to dispel all the buffs or none at all. Of course, he is bugged, so don't. It's a high win rate though. I know a lot of people using him now, and I used him a few times. The attack that he can hit through foresight is one of the big things that he can dispel everything. I mean, even if there's foresight up there. But yeah, I mean, he could even be at a low gear level and still do his job. Like it's kind of ridiculous. So you really don't have to invest a whole lot on the modding side. Just like I said, whatever extra sets you have, speed set and your choice of the other set, speed arrow, and then whatever fast other primaries, doesn't matter, because it's just there to deal with the buff heavy, the buffs everywhere. So it's just another fun option.
So he's a cheap date, basically.
All right, next question for Mike and the Mechanics Hunt.
Okay. Question from member Tauntauns. What is the best Imperial Trooper team to take out a Mother Talzin lead Night Sister team?
So Veer Stark, definitely you need those two. I think for a Night Sister team, you want Death Trooper in there. For me, then it would be Snow, and I've got a Gear 12 Stormtrooper, and Stormtrooper's always my go-to tank for an Imperial Trooper team. Kind of acts like, if anyone remembers running Stormtrooper Han, it's the Stormtrooper Han tune for the Empire and for Imperial Troopers. So it feeds in turn meter, gets them clocking more, gives them expose, plus it's got the tank, blah blah blah. But yeah, that would be the squad ideally I would use.
I like that one, and then you can like another good fifth one for me in that one is Range Trooper. Range Trooper's awesome in that one.
Yeah, the only problem there is that you can, if you've got to get rid of Asajj as soon as possible, or prevent her from dispelling all the buffs all constantly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that they're going to pop buffs as they're doing their stuff anyway, but they're not as reliant. I don't seem to do as well with Range Trooper in the squad.
Yeah, you got to clock him a little more speedier, but I mean he's still a great fifth in general for the troopers. But the short, I see Stormtrooper in there too because it gives him more durability for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing, if you want to do, is you could take in Shore Trooper. With Shore Trooper on offense, the one thing you got to keep your Imperial Troopers alive long enough that they can do their job. And the problem with Night Sisters is they keep reviving and stuff. So you got to kill a lot. You got to kill multiple times, and then you can start taking the team out. So you got 7-8 kills. And because of that, normally by that time, Plague has done its job and your guys are dead. Shore Troopers heal at a well-timed moment can completely reverse all of that and give you a whole nother set of opportunities while you're getting all that bonus turn meter from those bonus kills. So Short Trooper I actually like to use a lot because of a well-timed heal. Just basically gives you another 5 to 10 turns without having to worry about dying.
All right, next question for the Servant of the Sith Apprentice, Silo.
I'll make a really quick comment though. Make sure that the zombie you're facing is Gear 10 or higher if you're really worried about it. You'd be surprised how many times I've seen in some of these battles that people still have Gear 8 and Gear 9 zombies, so they don't get the ability at the end, and then you don't have to worry nearly as much about those Night Sisters. So make sure that you guys look at what the zombie gear is as well.
Yeah, if she doesn't get that res, it's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next question it was Xylo, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Question from Max Dog. Has anyone used any 4 versus 5 squads in Grand Arena to try and get more points?
Hell yes. Get him, Xylo.
Oh yeah, man. I love going in shorthanded with Grand Arena. If you can go in shorthanded, especially in the 5v5 mode, if you can go in shorthanded and that front wall, and then it just gives you more flexibility for the back wall. And then yeah, sometimes you're left over with some pieces that you're like, wow, I still had, C-3PO, or I still had, some of your Gear 11 pieces that you're more accustomed to using. But additional banners are always great, and even in the 3v3 game mode, like Warrior just put out that video with Canderous, Gamguard, and Vader lead in the 3v3, his new video series there. And even when we were doing it on the RSG run streams, we went in with Vader and Sith Trooper in a Rogue One team, and Vader just chews that team up, and you get the additional banners for not having that third slot. And there's so much flexibility in both game modes. I really like that aspect of Grand Arena, because if you can walk out of there with an additional character with protection, maybe even like 2 or 3 in a 5v5 game mode, you get extra banners adding up, and when it comes down to the end and you beat your opponent by like 5-10 points, it's a great feeling. So I love the concept, and I have my Grand Arena. I've been streaming my Grand Arenas too. I love going in shorthanded, if you guys ever want to check any of those out too.
All right. Next question for Broadway Joe Ramone.
I just wanted to say
go ahead.
For that exact reason, you can do so many experimentation, like for defense and offense. That is, to be able to stretch your roster and to do that, so that you have the choice of, testing out, like, can this one character take on, these 3, or can these 2 or 3 characters take on this 5? And it shows like some of these characters are way more powerful than you would think, and then sometimes the reverse, like, oh, that wasn't nearly strong enough. So it's like a nice trial and error. Like, do you ever do that where like you accidentally underestimated it, that you thought, oh, this should be enough, but then it wasn't?
Yeah, totally. Or like when you try to find something that can solo a cheese team, right? Like one of my opponents put down 3 Jawas, and I mean they were decently geared, but I put in my Gear 11 Beasts, and she was just sitting there countering over and over and keeping her health all the way up, and you get the extra banners for it, and it wasn't the biggest difference, but you're saving one team, or you don't know what's coming for the back wall or something like that, so it gives your roster more flexibility again.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Next question to Remon.
Okay. Question for Remon from Dojasun. Since Kira Nest is a good cheese team versus Bastila teams in Territory War and Grand Arena, and L3 Zeta only affects the droids, what is the best Scoundrel lineup, not including those 3? So the 3 being Kira, Nest, and L3. Is it Zeta, Vandor, and someone else? What would be your best Scoundrel lineup?
Man, Scoundrels really aren't my thing, but so excluding Vandor, excluding Kira, Nest, and who else?
L3.
I would probably say, I guess this is excluding bounty hunters also.
No, doesn't say anything about bounty hunters.
I mean, I would Scoundrels are bounty hunters, so I would say the best team besides those 3 would be bounty hunters. But if you're trying to create like some team with, let's say, like Vandor or Han, I mean, another option would be a team with Mission and Zalbar. They're Scoundrels, right?
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah, so I would say a team that I use in 3v3 that works for me sometimes is like a Rex lead with Vandor. I'm sorry, with Mission and Zalbar, or obviously you could use some combination with Karth, Mission and Zalbar. But I think Warrior is a little bit more of an expert on these characters than I am.
Warrior, you want to give your thoughts? Maybe Karth lead or James?
Yes, I like to run a lot of Scoundrel teams. In fact, it's kind of fun to run like 4 or 5 Scoundrel teams. Bounty hunter / Scoundrels. There's so much synergy between the bounty hunters, the smugglers, the Scoundrels. and some of them have multiple tags, and so I like running Karth. And then of course that team is going to be a dot team, a dot centric team. That's just what they do. So because of the dot centricity, I like to have underneath him Canderous Ordo. Canderous Ordo, Gear 12 maxed out, is an absolute jerk, and he's no fun to go against. In fact, he becomes priority number 1 to kill, even over Mission. Which is terrible because Mission's horrific herself. They've made some really good characters, to be honest. While they're not arena viable, which is kind of irony, they're insane on defense for like Grand Arena. And the reason is with Arena, you can take it whatever you want. But I like Karth lead, Zeta, of course, with Canderous Ordo, no Zeta necessary. Mission, Zeta optional. And then Vandor, or not Vandor, but Zalbar, Zeta optional. And then the 5th can be whatever you want it to be. But you could throw a Nest in there just to kind of throw a wrench, or you could throw a second tank like L3 or something like that. Then the other one with like Kira lead. Kira, again, is another great lead. Don't need the Zeta on her, but that's an optional thing. It does make her better. And then underneath her, I actually like using the traditional double tank L3 and Vandor situation. Zeta's necessary on Vandor, and then I like using Han Solo and Lando. And the reason is, between those two guys, Prepared is just always on Vandor, and L3.
Young Han, right? You're talking about Young Han.
Yeah, Young Han. And what happens is, while it seems like an undervaluable team, what happens is that basically there's always Prepared rolling around. And so you're constantly trying to kill Vandor, but then L3 just makes it nearly impossible. So you got to try and deal with L3 every time. And in the meantime, everybody's ramping up their damage. And Han, I've got him super, super high in offense, and his offense stacks over a battle. And by the end of it, he's hitting for 50 to 80K on a basic, just Wapowie. And so people that underestimate that team, they go, oh, I'm just going to take in my, my Imperial Troopers or something like that, because they think they can kill it or whatever. They end up losing, or they take in their Night Sisters and they lose or whatever. And it's not that good a team, but it is. That's the thing. It's like an A- team on defense, but it's just good enough. It really requires a meta team to kill it. And so I like to have, a Karth lead, a Kira lead. I like to have, a Django lead possibly, or sometimes, you can use, there's other leads. In fact, what's funny about bounty hunters is they almost all have leads and they're all really pretty decent leads. So you can kind of mix it up and change it up. So that way people are like, oh, I've never faced this before. What in the hell do I do? That's what you want. And even if they beat you, at least you'll know, how it worked and how it did. And win, lose, or draw, the whole thing is experimentation and trying to learn. So.
All right.
Yeah, and you can also even throw, for the continuous mixtures, you can even throw bounty hunters under the Kira lead. Like, so you have like Cad Bane there, it's handy.
I like the bounty hunter faction in general. Like I've recently got them all up to Gear 11, and they're so flexible even on offense and defense both ways. So,
well, and a lot of it talks about like, it's just funny. A lot of it says it uses a scoundrel tag for the benefit, and it's like, oh, well, my God, if you look under scoundrels, there's like 35 characters or whatever. That's a lot of characters. So if you're looking for some of that vague generality, there's a lot of synergy through smugglers, scoundrels, and bounty hunters.
Yeah, exactly. You can do a lot of mix and matching. Like with whatever you have, you can definitely come up with a good variety. It's pretty neat to be able to mix and match like that.
All right. Next question for lightsabers aren't just a hobby, they're a passion. Loki.
Oh, that was a good one.
All right. Loki from Dylar's Twilight Tactic. For Grand Arena on defense, now that people have sped up regular Kylo to be the turn meter engine, is there any benefit to bringing Phasma back over First Order Officer or a Zeta Bears?
This is on defense?
Correct.
No. I still use Xeris as my 5th, so I still use if I lay the First Order team down, then it's Crew, Kylo, Executioner, Stormtrooper, and then Zaris, I think, right now. I think for offense, though, you can, because you're in control of that team, and maybe, your opponent's going to put down like a really good bounty hunter squad. I like to use First Order against bounty hunter, just against like a boss team or something, right? Then I think there's a benefit with using like First Order officer or something like that. But I use Phasma for a totally other team, because she's really good on offense as a leader with the other, like with the rest of the First Order scrubs, or 3 First Order and then 2 others like Wampa or something like that. So I would not put Phasma and I would not put officer on defense, or at least in the bracket that I am. I think Zaris is still a good 5th, or like Nest or something like that.
All right. Next question for King of the Castle, but not really Felix.
All right. A question from Ancient Farmer. Is now a good time to join the game?
Ooh.
First of all, I'm in my castle right now, so I am king of this. And
you run nothing.
I run everything.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's interesting.
Put your wife on. Put your wife on. I want to see what she says.
Oh, you sure? She's been on here before, if you recall.
I know. I'm sure I'll get a different answer.
I think the Munchkin holds more power over Felix.
Right?
Yeah, that's why I have to lock the door to my office.
Locking yourself in your castle. Got it.
But it's interesting you bring that up, because as we know, Warrior, the Scissor Man, just recently started his free-to-play account, I think probably 2 months ago now, if I'm remembering correctly. Or maybe
2 months. 8 weeks.
Months? Okay.
8 months. 8 weeks.
And with Warrior's focus and knowledge, he's doing extremely well. So I would say it's always a good time to start this game. It's all about how much you're going to invest in it, and that's not only money, but really the game is time. Is how much time you're going to invest into it. And if you're talking about starting over, I don't know about that. If you want to run a second account that's fine. But if you're new and you just randomly stumbled upon this live stream on YouTube, and you're interested in playing the game, absolutely start. I think this game will have the longest life of any mobile game in the history of mobile games, with how much this community is invested into it. And if the game is fun, I recently got somebody at work to start playing just last week. And if you want to play this game and sink a couple hours of your day into your phone and meet a whole bunch of good people doing it, I think it's a great game to play.
Well said. Well said indeed. Now, next question for someone that technology confuses and frightens him at the same time. Good old Maurice.
That's me too, by the way.
No, that's good old Maurice.
All right. Good old Maurice, question from Eternal Revan. Does anyone have a good non-meta counter to a Karth lead Old Republic team? So far, I've used Traya or CLS to counter them because, frankly, they frighten me.
Bastila, you win. The Zeta Bastila lead, and pretty much, I think my Karth counter is Zeta Bastila, Ezra, Kanan, trash, Jedi. It doesn't matter. it really doesn't. You could even use Mace Windu in there because he'll pre-taunt.
How dare you call Jedi trash in front of Adastra?
Well, trash is in, like, it doesn't matter. Throw in your Gear 9, Gear 10 Anakin. Bastila just destroys.
Did you just call Anakin trash now?
You underestimate my power!
Yes.
Anakin is Gear 12, sir.
Yeah, Gear 9, Gear 10 Anakin is trash. It's not very good unless you have a low GP, and then he's very good. But it just Bastila and just a tank. It doesn't even have to be a taunting tank. Again, it could be Mace Windu. Is Plo Koon a tank?
No, I don't think he is.
I think he's a support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, anybody with a tank tag will taunt under that Zeta Bastila lead, and it's got the huge amounts of protection up and the tenacity. So really, there's not too many people you need to worry about on the team, except for Mission to do huge damage. If there's no dots, Ordo just simply won't go. Like, Ordo just sits there like a bumper along. There's no turn meter for him to feed himself to. There's going to be no assisting from Karth. There's going to be no, or there might be some assisting. There's not going to be any health regeneration from that Karth lead because there's not going to be any dots. The only dot that will land is Mission's occasional dot when she stacks a bunch of that potency, because her potency will get so high it actually rivals the tenacity of that leadership. Bastla's a good one. There are some other ones. I would imagine troopers can do it pretty well. I haven't tried, but on paper, I mean, they look like it's an AoE heavy team, so you could just melt Karth and Mission behind that Zalbar taunt. I've never tried that one, but it sounds like it should work.
If you have Death Trooper, you can get the Death Mark going.
Yeah. I would say Bastla would be my go-to choice for sure.
You can also do Ewoks with C-3PO.
That would be cool. Yeah, for sure. That would be real cool.
Tenacity up, remove all the debuffs and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kylo loves those dots.
Who loves the dots?
And by the way, Plo is a tank. I am sad none of you knew this.
I knew it. He just doesn't taunt.
Look at that.
Well,
Look
but
at
he
that. Like
taunts with Bastila, but like, when's the last time I dusted off my Plo Koon?
Yeah.
Calm down.
Like, go on. He has an awesome ship. I mean, you could have at least noticed him because of the ship.
No, not really. No.
For one, I hate ships, and for two, he is a donate to platoons. I know. Warrior appreciates his ship because Warrior is very smart. I, however, am not, which means I hate his ship, and the rest of the ship can just go straight down the drain.
Well, that's again one of those ships that you don't really have to gear. It's just the ability mat investments on the ship, right? So
it's not getting either. I will gear Kit Fisto before I gear Plo Koon.
Oh, snap.
Hey, Kit Fisto's pretty cool, so...
I have him at gear 10 since that's where he was when I last used him in Arena.
2 years,
Yeah, I
ago.
like using him with the Imagande lead, and I've also actually used Kit with the other Jedi leads. He can actually be pretty good.
I remember
one of my fun Revan teams, I used Kit in there.
Yeah.
All right, Lydia Dasher, is there a Jedi in the game that you don't like?
Nope, I like them all.
Yeah, that's what I thought. See,
And Jedi Knight Guardian, she also works under Bastila lead.
Oh yeah, Jedi Guardian is actually one of my favorites. That AoE buff block, I mean that ability block, it's pretty handy.
oh my
You
god!
can get one free taunt at a
And I loaded up like one time just for fun. I loaded her up with a lot of offense, so that AoE actually landed some good damage too.
What, like 4,000? Wow.
I actually have a question on the Bastila lead.
She actually has a high offense, so don't underestimate her.
Yeah, totally.
Enough damage output to kill a Karth team with all the regenerative health protection.
There is no regenerating health protection because they're not landing any dots, so they can't damage anybody with dots.
But with Canderous Ordo, he puts tenacity down on his third shot, and he's always going to have his third shot because there's always protection.
It's a maximum banner type defense. Ordo's never really going to go, right? Ordo's going to go maybe once, maybe twice. He will land tenacity down, but at that point, you've already got hopefully Mission out. So then it's just Ordo, and then it's pretty much Ordo and Zalbar you got to take out.
All right. Oh my god, too funny. Where are we? Oh, back to the top. We're back to. I like to run 5 accounts. Scissorman Warrior.
That's actually a good intro for the question. So the question from Can't Touch This Warrior: with you playing through your system so soon after you released it, are there any things that you've learned that you might use to tweak the pillars a bit?
Actually, no. I would leave everything identical. The only thing I would say, and I've been talking about this as I go throughout, is I made everything. This is when you unlock something. This is what you can focus on. Then in this later on, it becomes easier to get to. And so as things unlock, you progress through the system. There's no reason to go for Shore Trooper in Pillar 1 because you can't even physically get to him. So why would I put him in Pillar 1? It doesn't make sense. However, my progression has been so rapid that I now can access Pillar 3 characters that are critical for meta. And so I have been, doing a lot of primarily doing Pillar 1, but kind of dipping into Pillar 2, or maybe starting to kind of passively try and waste a little bit of energy on Pillar 3 characters. While I talk about this a lot in my live streams and in my videos, it does, for me, cause a little bit of divided attention more than I'm super focused on certain stuff, but it does, like, I could have gotten Emperor Palpatine 7 stars last time, but I didn't because I was going for Jedi. The good news is Jedi has gotten me way more crystals, and I'm okay with it since I'm not using Emperor Palpatine in Arena. For me, it was the gamble was worth it. But at this point, I have like 4 rows of favorites. So it was one of those things that you don't want to get too stretched, too thin. And at this point now, I can get to Ewoks, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should start going for them. And it's just like, oh my goodness, there's just too much. But no, I wouldn't change anything. I think people need to be more focused than even I am being, because I feel like I like to stretch myself pretty thin and try and go for way too much at one time. And if I just refocus on what's in Pillar 1, I'm going to be just fine. So yeah, exactly how I have it written is pretty well. There are a few characters in Pillar 1 you might want to kind of ignore. For example, Talia, easily to access and easy to get up. I've got her 5 stars. I still haven't finished her yet in Pillar 1, and I should, but I know some people that do the same thing. They kind of just ignore her, and that's okay, unless you're going to go, Knight Sisters, and then you wouldn't. But the game's yours to play. The Pillar system is to give you a hyper focus of what's available when, and what I think are the factions that should be focused on in an evolutory fashion.
Oh, that's a big word.
Housekeeping?
Yeah, sorry.
Somebody needs a mattress.
That wasn't my phone.
That was
I thought that was yours.
No.
Well,
I'll direct them to Warrior.
yeah.
They call Finn. Hey, I need a mattress, Finn. Finn's like, hold on.
When I drove from California to Tennessee, I looked to see if Warrior's mattress store was in my route, the fastest route, because I was going to go pick up a bed from him. Sadly, it wasn't.
So we had a question come in, Warrior, from Billy Gunn, just asking where they can find your Pillar videos, if you just want to comment on that really quick.
Well, he should know the Pillar videos. The Pillar video, the farming guide has been out now for over a month, and it talks about the 5 pillar system. As far as like each individual pillar, I am bringing one of those a week out. And so Pillar 1 in depth will be this Sunday, tomorrow. And then probably next week I'll have Pillar 2 in depth. I'll keep going Pillar 3, Pillar 4, Pillar 5. But, it's one of those things where if you want the overarching kind of story, there's already the video out there over a month ago. It's on my main channel, and it's under beginner guides playlist, or you can just find it in the last 10 videos I've made. It's like the 10th video back, I think.
And that's on the Warrior Presents YouTube channel. The link is in the description.
Yeah, and then I do a weekly stream of my free-to-play account, and you can follow me on SWGOH /U/Scissorman and see my daily progress. And I'm on Twitter and constantly putting daily progress on Twitter. In fact, I got to do my very first assault battle today with my Phoenix, and I beat the first level, and I got a crap ton of rewards, including like over 1 million credits. It was awesome. Super amazing.
Very nice.
There you go.
All right, next question for someone that thinks Jedi Guardian is amazing, Lady Adastra.
And I have a fun question for you also after this one, Adastra, because I know you're going to have to go soon, so I'll give you that as well. So your main question from Hellenix says, question for the great Jedi Master, Lady Adastra. Excluding the widely known Jedi, like Revan, Yoda, Hermit Yoda, Jolee, GK Bastel, etc., what little-known Jedi comp have you found to be quite good, but typically overlooked or underrated? And then, as a side note, have you convinced Ranger to Gear 12 as Epcot?
How dare you, Hellenix? I warned you. You're on a timeout.
I love it. Nice plug in there. Gotta give that Epcot some love, okay, Ranger?
Yeah, he gives about much love as Felix gives his Plo Koon.
That's right.
Oh no, I mean, I've done, as I'm sure you can probably imagine, considering my earlier comments, I have done quite a few combinations with Jedi. When Revan first dropped, I was super excited because, the just what it meant that any Jedi can work with him. He brings them all together. So some fun ones that I've done is like you can do like full offensive combinations, like having Ayla, Ezra. So, oh, sorry, it'd be like Revan, Grandmaster Yoda. Those are the two that you always have them together, and then you can have whatever three you want with them. And so you can go the high offensive route, like I mentioned. So you'd have those two, then you could have Ayla and Anakin and Ezra. You could go without a tank and just murder stuff. You can throw a tank in there if you want. Obviously, Kenobi is the best tank, as you said. But Old Ben, I really love him. Like I modded him really well, and I ran him a lot, and it was a very solid team too. Like he often gets overlooked because of Kenobi. That Kenobi's the best tank in the game, arguably, and so Old Ben sometimes just gets left by the wayside. But he is a really good tank too. The TMR, the TM gains too with the resists and obviously the time. I have a double zated one too, so have to use him. But yeah, even when you're splitting up your Jedi, that's kind of when I was doing these tests too, just to see like, can I have a strong Bastila team and a Revan team and even a third string like Qui-Gon Jinn lead, but you can mix them all around. Qui-Gon works well with Revan also, so for the dispel and the assist. So you could actually run a full assist-heavy team too. Have Qui-Gon, Ezra, and Ayla all in there. Ezra, you summon Ayla, you have a chance to do a lot of attacks, of course. I love pairing those two together, like even under Bastila lead. So it's just I should make some videos of this and just show all this. Because one of my favorite ones was running with Jedi Knight Guardian. Who uses Jedi Knight Guardian?
No one.
No one.
No one ever.
Which actually leads me very well into the fun question that was asked by Nathaniel Morgan for you, Adastra. He says, since DB made the Plo Koon video, what low-tier Jedi will you make a winning video mirror match with? The people's favorite talk.
Well, I did. When Revan first dropped, I made a bunch of videos, and one of them was a fun one. Like, one had Kit Fisto and Jedi Knight Guardian in it, and I won my battle. So, I haven't had an arena vid in a while, so I should do that. I can have one with Eth Koth just for Ranger.
Yeah, I won't be watching.
I gotta show you
can
the
name
power
it something
of the
with
Koth.
Ranger's name in there too.
Yeah, I won't be watching.
You need to call it like the Ranger Jedi 1999 team.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's good because other people have been asking me that too. That I haven't had an arena vid in a while, so I should do that. I can make some fun ones. I have the whole faction there, so might as well show off what some of them can do. Because Grand Arena has been really fun in that regard too, like setting up these squads that no one ever sees, so they often get a defend because when they see it, like they don't know how to attack it. Like how often do you see Jedi Knight Guardian on defense, for instance? And
There's a good reason why you don't see it very often.
hey, I've gotten defense with her on certain teams I've done. So
Yeah, what, Revan teams? Okay.
Bastila and others that I don't want to say.
I got defenses off of an all Wookiee team, so
Oh yeah.
Clone Wars Chewbacca lead.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, it's just cool to be able to Grand Arena. To be able to do that. So really, like, I had one of them where I put every single Jedi on defense, and that was so much fun that I had to build squads around them. Like one of my continuous goals is I've been experimenting with different Lumi leads. I have this data on Lumi, so I've been trying to figure out like just different teams for Grand Arena, but so far it hasn't been able to get a deep end yet.
All right. Next question for someone that second breakfast is a real thing. Mike Hunt.
All right. From Daniel Morgan, should I dump Carbantes into Django to make a second bounty hunter team, or Dengar, who's gear 9, to make boss team better, notwithstanding future meta characters?
Oh, I really do like Django, but I think that you'd benefit from a higher gear Dengar more than a second lead bounty hunter squad to start with. I'd invest into Dengar first, get him up to 11 at least, and then go back to Django, because Django is gonna bring the lead ability, so you can still use a lower gear Django. You're not going to get the best out of that character, but you will, be able to utilize the lead. But Dengar, Dengar is such a strong bounty hunter, and especially in a boss squad. That would be my advice anyway.
All right. Next question for a man who's force choked every day by his son, Xylo takedown.
Okay. From Ryuk, question: is it safe to go all in on Ebon Hawk, or should I keep crystals for a 5th character marquee twist needed for Revan?
Well, I think HK is definitely going to be the 5th, and like the reason why is they're just looking at the character cadence release from this batch and the last batch, right? Like you had 2 Cantina characters and then 3 hard node characters. And then the second time around, we got 1 Cantina character and 3 hard node characters. So I think they kind of capped it that way to be like, okay, well, you already have a 7-star HK-47. We're going to give you 1 Cantina node and 3 hard nodes. So the ship being needed for the event, I don't think the ship's going to be needed for the event either. Like some people are speculating in the community, just to get past that point. And the ship, I'm going to go all in on the ship. So I'd say, yeah, go for it. I mean, I'm going to use my arena income. And, since the ship's going to be in the packs too as well, depending on where I land with the shuttle, I got to 6 stars with 2 out of 100. So I barely got the 6-star shuttle with the arena income and no cash or anything like that. So that's my plan going in, is to get it at least to the 6 stars and then farm it from the packs and get it up to 7 stars, just so that way when it does come free to play, I don't have to worry about farming it. So
let's see here. Next question for someone who's been keeping good on Maurice and checks since 2017, Ramon.
Okay. For Ramon, question from Ron Osborne. Will Arena ever be diverse again? It seems very hard to compete free to play these days.
No. Next question. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think so, man. I think that if it's ever going to happen, obviously in the past that was a thing. You could run multiple teams. I think that what's going on now with possibly maybe a Revan coming into the game, making the Sith. If the Sith are just as good as the Jedi, that could be a thing. Yeah, I mean, so we could have let's say 2 or 3 teams that are going to be, but it's going to be a point where we're going to have 6 or 7 meta teams at one time. I don't think so.
Okay. Next question.
Well, real quick, just to follow up on that
Sure,
one.
go for it.
I mean, not to say that he's wrong. He's totally right. It's just the way that teams are tiered, right? And by the players who do and don't get the next meta event character, right? So you have and that's exactly what I thought Grievous was going to be instead of, there being only 2 or 3 teams in the top tier of the meta, it kind of passed that point. But Grievous is still a really flexible climbing character too, as well, just like the Night Sisters, JTR, and CLS. So I mean, the limit to the meta is definitely between Revan and Revan right now, right? But when Darth Revan comes, it'll be tiered like Darth Revan, Jedi Knight Revan, and then whatever like Sith teams that are still available for the characters or players that didn't get Darth Revan, right? So like you still have your Traya teams, and you'll still see CLS and JTR climbing teams, Night Sister climbing teams too as well. So it'll be a wider arena again for sure.
It's not that it's not going to be wider. What I'm saying is, like, there was a time in the game where you really could win with, like a resistance team. You could
like you had to switch your leads or your offense and defensive comps, right?
You could have ran a Qui-Gon Jinn team. You could have ran a multiple different squads, and it would have been, you could take number one and beat any team. And I'm not saying if you don't have the teams modded correctly, you don't have a chance now. I'm just saying that it's a situation where it's a lot less likely that you're going to be able to come up with, let's say, a meta that has, all these viable teams, because they're so good now at creating these characters like Revan, for example, that are, like the meta characters for now, and whatever new meta comes out 6 months from now or a year from now, we'll be able to totally annihilate the meta from today. So
that's definitely
how it's been.
Like I remember when the EP meta was around, you had those Rex Wampa, Mother Talzin, and then 2 tank teams, right? Like that was like a flexible climbing team, but it was horrible on defense, right? So you'll have a different look now, as opposed to like in that meta where there was 2 or 3 different teams you were running on offense just to climb. So
all right,
how would the Wigs Chase squad fare now? I mean, that was a 6-month meta.
Definitely.
All
Do you
right.
remember how long
And
Sunfat
I like how Rex, you could always have a Rex lead something.
Yes.
Rex
Not
lead with
now.
Sunfat. That was the meta. For what?
Yeah.
8 months.
Yeah,
Rex,
we need a
Rex
Rex
always has a
rework.
special place in our hearts, right?
Oh,
Well,
God.
I have to get going, guys.
All right,
as
Lady
always,
Dasha.
fun being here, and again, woohoo, 100! Woo!
Thank you, Lady
Bye,
Dasha. Bye.
All right,
Bye,
see you
Dasha.
later.
All right, next question for a man that can use Magic the Gathering cards to perform real magic, Loki.
All right. Question from Mostef Isley. I found that mod depth is really a difference maker in Grand Arena. I'm at 4.5 million GP. As a result, I've been eyeing the mod salvage packs in the store. Do you think they are worth it?
Man, that's a hard thing to say. I mean, even for me, I think it's more important to, I don't know what's more important, getting the stuff to slice it, or getting actual good mods, right? So I've recently been just farming mods again, and just getting the right ones, and now that when they changed the whole mod system, right? I mean, back in the day, we were selling automatically any mod that didn't have a speed secondary. We didn't even waste time to level it up. If it didn't have a speed secondary off the bat, we sold it. But now it's a different game. So, I mean, if you got stuff that you're upgrading, that you want to risk it, and you need to slice it, and you're going for it. I mean, if you got a lot of like blue ones and green ones with speed secondaries and offense secondaries and all that, then I would say, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. It's really hard to say. I'm leaning toward it's good to farm new mods than it would be to slice, stuff. I guess that you've accumulated over years. Unless you're really, if you're really confident it's gonna level up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So is the mod salvage pack worth it? Again, it just depends on what, where you're at in the game. Even for me, I don't get them, I guess is what I'm also trying to say is, I'm using a new farming method, I guess. It's because they changed the way mods are being farmed. So I'm also doing the challenges again, and I'm leveling up green ones and blue ones that I normally wouldn't do that don't have speed or offense secondaries, in hopes of them procking, and then you level them up from there. So
Yeah, and to follow
it's
that,
tough.
I mean, yeah, the packs themselves are like widely stretched for all the slicing materials, right? So
Exactly.
so if you hyper focus your mods and you slice the ones you've already had, like if you slice all of your purples and you've sliced all the good ones that you want from gold to 6E, it's like from that point, like Loki just mentioned, going back to your grays, your blues, and your greens, and then if they don't proc, you're getting rid of them right away. So at that point, if you're only slicing the greens and the blues and the grays, you're only farming those mod salvages in general. So I bounce back and forth between farming mods to myself. Like I'll farm mods 5 days a week, and then I'll farm the salvages on the weekends. And it's because I'm accumulating all those higher materials for the the blue, or I'm sorry, the purples and the golds again. And once I want to find those good mods that I've been slicing from green and blue that are procking all speed, those are the ones that I'll invest my 6E mod materials into, and they accumulate so fast. And if you're only farming the lower tier salvage pieces for your greens and your blues, you'll be surprised how quickly the top tier salvage slicing materials come, and you don't need to spend the money on those. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a totally, the whole mod game is a totally different thing. I mean, even sometimes, even for me, I don't really want speed secondaries anymore. And it sounds funny to say that, but I mean, there's tunes out there now. I mean, you put defense secondaries. I mean, you have an L3 that has like 65 or 70% armor on her. She's not going to die. And you're going 3v3 with an L3 with that much armor. And and you run like a Stormtrooper Han lead where she's resurrecting Stormtrooper Han, and they're just yo-yoing back and forth, and she's gaining a bunch of turn meter, she's getting taunt again, and you just can't hit this thing. I mean, you can't kill it because it's got 70% armor, right? She's not the fastest, tune,
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, there's so many ways to mod tunes now. And it's hard to say. I mean, if they had a slicing pack for 5-star to 6E, I would be more inclined to get that. But because they spread it out, that's where I just don't care for it as much, because I don't need all that salvage. I need just the ones that go to 6E, or I need the ones that go from green to blue, right? Or something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, next question for King of the Hill, Felix.
All right. Question, Mr. Space Bear says, it seems harder and harder for top 50 guilds to recruit. Do you think it might be beneficial to disband one of the top guilds every year or so to distribute members to other guilds?
I sell propane and propane accessories. Now, I don't think they should disband any guilds. Guilds is really the only thing holding this community together. They're holding the entire game together. So if you disbanded the top guild, whether I know Wallet Warriors and Team Instinct are constantly battling for the top guild, say you disband one of those guilds and you no longer allow, like, how are you no longer going to allow those 50 people to group up again? You just make a new guild, and it'd be the same thing with the same amount of GP. It's not even physically possible to really disband a guild unless you blocked all 50 of those people from playing with each other again in a guild, which is completely, like, ludicrous.
Yeah, if you did that to like the top tier guild, like, and your top investors, really.
Yeah, you'd be. I mean, the people who are at the top have put in so much money into this game, and I understand from a lower guild's perspective that they feel like there's no hope or that they can't ever reach the top, but you can easily find a guild. I mean, Warriors Scissorman account. All these guilds are looking for, the middle of the pack guilds are looking for people to do their 600 every day. That's really all they're looking for. And then you can get these raid characters earlier than people in your shard who are going through the beginner guilds and the other the guilds not doing heroic raids. And then you'll have a huge advantage over the rest of your leaderboard. You earn these crystals, if you earn top 10 in both arenas, you're earning more crystals than 90% of the people in the game. Because even I get number 1 in squad arena, but I don't play fleet, so I get in the top 200. You'll still be earning more crystals than me, and you'll advance far quicker, and then you can be in the top of the guild. So no, they're not going to disband Warriors Team Instinct Guild. They're not going to disband Wallet Warriors. It's not going to happen. You just have to work and grind and unlock everything.
All right. Next question for a man who doesn't drink beer, but when he does, it's whiskey. Good old Maurice.
Question from Nathaniel Morgan. How do I nest-proof my Ewoks? Does C-3PO help? Maurice, you're on mute if you're saying it.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Is there any way to make any team nest proof? Is the question. How to make Ewoks nest proof? Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, the Ewoks do offer tenacity up, so you could be immune to the daze. But to get out in front of nest, especially if it's a fast build nest, you're gonna have your Paplu blazing fast. I guess that's part of it. Having your Paplu blazing fast would help counter nest because he will get that 25% speed from his unique. I don't really know the Ewoks that well, so if there's an Ewok master on the panel, by all means. But I think Ewoks should probably be an offensive team, though. If you do have a nice Ewok squad, that's a team that can take out a lot of stuff offensively and efficiently for the maximum amount of banners with all that healing and whatnot going around.
Okay.
The other thing, too, with regards to that is the Ewoks do a lot of damage, but the damage is done like per attack, right?
Yeah, you can't really kill Nest is the problem.
So that's kind of the bigger issue is that you're going to have a hard time killing Nest with the Ewoks. It's not that you can't. You have to make sure that you time some of the bigger hits, which is depending on who you're running in the team, right? If you're running kind of the standard Chirpa, Elder, Lawgrade, Paplu, and Wicket, right?
Your Wicket's going to have to basic attack for like 40k to one-shot Nest, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're going to have to do. Like, it's going to be...
You're going to time out.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, you could load them up with some tenacity, but it would have to be in the secondaries, and then on top of that, you'd have to have good speed and offense on those mods too. So that's a really high, high demand for those type of mods on those characters. And, I think your best bet would just be to take them off your defense. I mean, even for a cheese team, like you can put some better cheese down on defense, and that's the thing is like. If you want them to be viable, it's in your pocket on offense, and then you have to go in on the gear investment, unfortunately. So
Ewoks are very good on offense.
Yeah,
because you can control them, and you know what to use against them, and they are a good first order killer. And I mean, like everybody here on the panel knows that they've done some good work on offense against a lot of teams, except for like Treya and Revan. But they can kill CLS, they can kill JTR, all that stuff. So.
At the higher levels, that really is a big part of your strategy for Grand Arena defense. Make all of your teams Ewok proof and Finn proof. That's a key part.
Mm-hmm. Wampa proof.
Yeah,
and I mean that's the other problem with all we're discussing with the Ewoks, right? Because it's all you're talking about defense, and now you're at the mercy of AI, right? You can use Ewoks to kill a nest, right, by using C-3PO because you're going to get the explosives, which are going to add that extra damage that you may need in
the confuse, yeah.
Right, and the confused, and I mean, you have a lot of things, but you're expecting the AI to use it properly.
Yeah.
And so that's where the downfall of the Ewoks is. The Ewoks work well on defense when you're not facing Nest, because they attack in such volume that the turn meter gain is huge, and the team is just constantly going. It's going to be hard to expect the AI to properly use it, regardless of who you put in the fifth. And I think that's going to be the biggest issue with whatever you're putting together here.
You give the Ewoks a new Ewok with like a health down mechanic, then you got yourself a team that can beat almost anything. But that's really, they just don't hit hard enough, I guess.
We just need Affinity Ewok character.
Yeah.
Get Wichi, Wicket's brother. You're good.
All right. Any more questions, Finn? If not, if
We
so,
have one more question
all right.
for someone, and then we have a couple of
Well, let's
kind
back
of
up top to our boy Scissorman Warrior.
Okay. So, Warrior, this is a question from Darth Scion, 1972. And he says, why do people say Darth Revan is almost going to be free to play? I'm taking first in fleet and arena each day, and I'm using my crystals to farm Old Republic. If not for my ranks, I wouldn't be able to get them farmed without spending.
Yes, I think sometimes perception is reality, and so your perception obviously skews your reality. And there's a lot of us in this panel, as well as a lot of people listening that are active players that, just like he stated, he's listening to this right now and he's doing really well in arena and ships. So he's got the crystal revenue to do it. But what this means is anyone that's kind of in the top 50 for the most part is going to be able to get this free to play. Everybody outside the top 50 is probably not. So it's like anything. We're talking to the loudest minority as if we're the majority, and that's not the case. The majority of people are not going to be able to get Revan, Darth Revan, the first time around, but anyone that's in the top 50 probably will, and they'll probably spend a little money to make it happen if they find themselves falling a little short on capturing him, because they don't want to go another 4 to 8 months without the right character in play. But yes, if you looked at like my even a more I'm earning straight up 500 to 600 crystals a day right now, free to play, which is nuts. But even with that, there's no chance that I could even probably be ready for regular Revan the next time it comes around in 3 months, let alone Darth Revan. So there's a lot of that too, and there's a lot of shards like that. So, yeah, for any of the people who are placing high and are in established shards, they're pretty much everyone at the top 20/top 50 will get Darth Revan and probably not have to spend a whole lot of money, if any. But that doesn't apply to probably 80% of the player base.
All right, Finn.
Well, and that to follow
Go ahead,
up too.
Zoe.
I mean, like the hyper-focused players that get first every day in both fleet and ships, they're farming them out of shipments early on because there's been so much time, and that's the free-to-play aspect from how people are getting them so quickly.
All right. So we have a couple of group questions, and then we have some fun questions as we wrap this up. So we have some game changers on the panel here. So one of the things was Jason Matthews was wondering, are the game changers going to be making any gameplay videos of Ebon Hawk? I want to know if it's worth investing in. So Warrior, Ramon, good old Maurice, do you guys have any plans on Ebon Hawk videos coming soon? You want to pimp out?
Well, we're gonna probably use the Ebon Hawk on the live stream tomorrow night on our channel. It won't be like a high level Ebon Hawk, but it'll be like a 4-star. So we'll rock it out. But as far as like a video about it is concerned, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's kind of a ship that I like. So at some point, for sure. But I really don't find. Maybe I can make a video on like what a 4-star Ebon Hawk can do, but I mean, I think that there'll definitely be some content from the game changers about the Ebon Hawk, and also about the HK rework whenever that drops. I'm sure.
Perhaps. I don't know. I don't know how far I'm gonna get my Ebon Hawk, and then I don't know if I really want to invest all those materials into the Ebon Hawk immediately, which I did with Palp Shuttle, and I regretted it because I added, almost 50K, just that ship alone to my GP, right? So I don't know if I want to unlock the Ebon Hawk just yet. We do have, some form of like a test account, but by the time I get anything ready to show on that, I mean, I'm sure somebody else is probably already going to cover it well, so we'll see.
Okay. Next question from All Me, and I can answer this one. I've been tempted to call the 877 Revan phone number to call in, like the AM Sports radio shows. There are so many people in the live chat that would be interesting to hear voices and questions. Is that a possibility? So first, let me get the phone number out to everyone. So we do have a phone number. It is RSG4 with the number 4, and then Revan with 2 V's. So the number is 774-473-8826. It is a legit number. We have that. It's not like a live phone number, but you can leave a voicemail. I'm always checking to see if anybody leaves a voicemail. And we have played the voicemails if people have questions on the stream before. So if you have a question and you want to get it in that way, definitely feel free to do that. We can play it on Jedi Academy or like the Wednesday night stream or whatever. But RSG, the number 4, and then Revan with 2 V's. So RSG, number 4, REVVAN. It is the legit number for us. And now Revan is in the game, so huzzah. Okay. And now we have some fun questions. So, Doja-san question, with this being the Hondo episode, does that lend any credit to Hondo coming around the corner?
Yes, he's coming out tomorrow, didn't you hear? He's going to defeat Revan with his piratiness.
I do want a Hondo with the whole Ugnaught army in the game. That would be pretty
And whatever that little creature was that always was on his shoulder, he needs to have one of those too.
All right. God. Question for Warrior from Mike Hunt. Will Scissorman be making an announcement today?
Making an announcement? No.
Yes. What the hell, Mike?
Yeah. No.
Why did you ask Warrior your question?
I was hoping that when it hit 9 o'clock at your time, that you were going to say, "Jump onto my channel. There's a HK rework. Here you go." But you didn't.
I know. I'm a bit sad by the whole Carrie thing because she is like up until like 2 a.m. and tweets out an HK quote and says something's coming tomorrow. And we know that the Ebon Hawk was already in the game, so why would you be referring to something coming in it's already in the game? And she used an HK reference, which HK wasn't in the Ebon Hawk. We know that, no crew member or anything like that. And then she says, no, I'm sorry. I totally shouldn't have done that. Whoops, I didn't realize everyone was following my Twitter feed, and I was just being silly. And then an hour later, there's an Ebon Hawk video that has HK walking out of it. It's like, no, that was a Freudian slip. You got a little up and you decided to spill the beans on the HK rework that's coming out in the next week. And you said tomorrow because the video for the HK rework was coming out tomorrow instead of the actual character. But anyway, I was a bit sad because I thought that we were going to have some cool news drop down. But I'm guessing Wednesday we'll probably be releasing information on HK47's rework. And Thursday he'll probably be in the game.
Science.
Ooh, quick question too, Warrior. You think with HK's rework that it'll be like also the announcement for Darth something?
Honestly, I don't. I think that there will probably be an announcement officially of what's needed probably by Thursday. So we'll have the HK rework plus the announcement. And it's going to be funny because, like you said a gear check because everybody's got time to get them, but the truth is, it shouldn't be because if they're a legendary character, and it's more of a
journey, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the journeys are more of a star check, and it's always been that way. Journeys are star checks. Mm-hmm. You have
definitely
stars, nothing. It's all or nothing. And with the other ones, it was gear check. It's why C-3PO was a gear check super high. It's why Chewie was so hard. Because it was a gear check, because they were saying, listen, everybody has these characters already, so we're going to, the majority. So we're going to go ahead and crank the difficulty up drastically, whereas legendaries, it's like gear 9 is more than sufficient for most of the legendaries, or for journeys. So I don't see him getting any more than a star check for the characters needed, with the exception that this might be a blended event. It might actually have HK in it, which everyone's had. So they might kind of do a star check, gear check for the first time ever on an event and do a combined, and that might make it even more difficult than people realize because it won't be just about getting the characters, but leveling them up. So we'll see. It remains to be seen.
All right, next question from Ray Rock. Warrior, how far are you from Winter Park? I'm there in your state this week on vacation.
Winter Park, I do not know where that's at. I believe that is back on the eastern slope, and I'm on the western slope. So I'm by Utah in Colorado. I could throw a stone at Utah, but I wouldn't because
That's awesome. I got a friend that lives up there. It's beautiful out there.
All right. What else? 73 question: how often does Ranger have liquid hot magma running up and down his butt to be able to have that much experience with it? Eating a Taco Bell every day or something?
No, and literally liquid hot magma. Come on now, it's a product. RSG sells it. Nowhere. Said no one.
It's Harry Carey's
To estimate my power.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
All right. Hellenix, it's a question, but not a question. I'd like to join everyone else in thanking you all for 100 Jedi Academy streams. I've looked forward to these for the past 100 weeks and look forward to another 100 more. Keep up the great work. And then shameless self-promotion.
Woo!
For all the sake of nostalgia, love you guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hellenix. JLY9. Question: Ranger, will Xylo be on the Grand Arena offense video later today? I really liked the last one when both of you were strategizing. Great video.
Yeah, if he's welcome. I don't know if he has to work or not. I mean, he does have the apprentice running around there, so he could be Force Lightning at that time.
I'm free all day, brother. I'm just hanging out. I was planning on streaming my Grand Arena a little earlier because usually what I've been doing is, my work schedule Monday through Friday, I go in at 2 to 10:30 Eastern. So usually all the big streamers are on at night, and there's no point in streaming super late like that. So I go and do it the next morning, like around 9 or 10 Eastern time, and then I'll come on the lunch stream. And it's perfect time frame wise for me that way. And some people wondering why I stream so early, if anything like that. So. But yeah, I'm off today and tomorrow, so I'd be more than happy to hang out.
4 Eastern, man. We'll set up our defense and then go right into offense. So
I always like living through Rangers' account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you failed me pretty hard last time. There's you have to make up.
I made a bad call on the Tarkin lead for sure, but I told you we should have ran EP Vader and Nest on that one team.
Yes. So.
Gar Saxon Zeta lead is the MVP.
Yeah, that's why we'll never use that. All right, next.
We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this win. And we're gonna win that next championship too. So
yeah.
All right, all me. Question: why does everyone blame Finn? He always has solutions. He's the mod father.
No, it's always Finn.
Yeah, that's a lie.
That's so funny too that he referenced that. I just started rewatching The Sopranos again. Finn the mod father.
Paparazzi, help! I am a chicken enthusiast, and YouTube recommended that I watch this stream. Where are the chickens? Okay, real question: where can I catch the episode with Grande's chicken escapade?
I don't remember the episode.
I don't remember which one stream.
A long time ago.
Man,
we'll have to find it. I think I have it somewhere.
It was last year during the lunch stream, March or
last
April.
February, end of February, because I started streaming with you guys the beginning of last February, so
Somewhere
it was towards the middle end of the February. Yeah. I'll go back and see if I can find it today too.
I mean, I went back and researched because when we did our 100th episode with RSG last year, I found that for Finn. And
yes, and that's where I think I have it, so I can check to see which episode it was, so I can double check.
But it was a lunch stream.
That was such a great stream. We should go back and rewatch that once.
Next question, last question, from Durgan. Infinity, when will you have Darth Hideous on Jedi Academy to talk about his rise to power? Well, I don't think he's going to like my answer, so I'll just keep quiet for now. We love Hideous. Hideous is actually a really awesome story. If you guys don't know, Hideous got a roster review from us a while ago now. I think he's got 2 roster reviews, and he's just kind of taken to it, and now he's kind of gone off on his own, and he knows a crap ton about mods, and he's been collecting them like crazy. And I mean, he's done a great job with his roster, and he's top in both fleet and arena on his shards. And so I do want to give Hideous a shout out. He's done a really good job with his roster, and it's pretty much what we like to do. I know we do it, and I know Warrior, you do it too on your other channel. When we do roster reviews, it's really nice to see when people do get that level of success with their fleet and their arena and their mods or whatever they were looking for. And so Hideous is kind of one of those stories. So I do want to give Hideous a shout out.
All right.
And that's it for questions.
All right, now it's time to pimp our stuff. Got a lot of pimping to do. So, of course, Lady Dash had to leave. She does have a YouTube channel, so make sure you check out her channel and support her content. Scissorman Warrior, where can folks check you out? You got a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah, so I'm back in the swing of things. Did 7 videos this week. I had a couple already come out. I have one roster review coming out today on my roster review channel, and then another video on my main channel coming out tomorrow on Pillar 1 in depth of the pillar system. And I've got a number of other videos where I'm working on 2 new series, which should be fun: a 3 versus 3 grand arena and a 5 versus 5 grand arena. The 3 versus 3 grand arena, I've got about 10 videos that I'm working on. They shouldn't take me very long, and they're going to analyze basically a specific team comp, what you need them, how you mod them, and what it looks like, and then we assess it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about all of that, and happy just have time again in my life to get back into the swing of things. By the way, side note, half of my viewers are not subscribed. They're watching, but they're not subscribed, which doesn't make any sense to me because they care enough to watch the channel, but they don't actually subscribe, so they don't know when it's coming, so they're just randomly finding my stuff weird. So if you're listening to this and you watch my stuff, but you're not subscribed, subscribe. Just get it, and that way you'll get spoon-fed all my videos, and you get to decide once you get them what you like and what you don't like.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks. Scissorman Warrior likes to spoon feed his patrons and supporters. All right. Next, Ramon, what do you got going on?
Well, we'll be live tomorrow night on my channel with the Alliance live show. We'll try to put some gameplay in of the Ebon Hawk. So if you want to check that out, it'll be tomorrow night at midnight. Actually, no, we're going to be doing it tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. Sorry. And I've also started to do some recording, and I'm going to be doing some videos on Anthem as well. So
all right.
If you like that game.
What platform are you playing, Ramon?
I'm playing on PC.
Oh, we got to play.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm down to, stream some Anthem, so I'm going to be doing that too. I've been kind of just soaking it up. There's a new update today, so I'm probably going to work on a video on that. And
I already downloaded it. I played it this morning. I'm happy.
And other than that, just same old. I want to put out some more videos when I can, but I've kind of got like a little bit of a mix of personal stuff going on and work and everything. So it's been a little bit difficult for me to put out regular vids during the week on a consistent basis. But I will eventually get back to that.
Yeah.
But that's it.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Xylo?
Yeah, check me out on YouTube, Takedown Games, Xylo Takedown. I have my goal for March this year is trying to hit 500 subs. So if you've seen my channel or you like any of my work, please do subscribe. I'm kind of changing up my format and delivery on content right now. I've been doing a little more live streaming so I can kind of interact with my viewers and subscribers a little bit more during the content. And I have been recording as well too, so I've kind of fallen back on my videos, but I do have some planned coming out here in the next couple of days, especially being off for the next 2 days and having the weekends off, not working 7 days a week anymore, to do some more content videos for you guys. So please do come subscribe. And RSG, thank you so much for your support. Congratulations on the 100.
All right. Mike?
So, okay. I got a response from Smithy. I PM'd him earlier before the show began. He responded, but unfortunately he's working today, and that's why he couldn't join us. But I just wanted to share that. I'd also cover best moment for me and Jedi Academy was before Jedi Academy started, and me asking Smithy if I could be part of it. That was personally, he did so much for me early days, and I'm always thankful to him for it. And I pass that on along with love that he was getting from here early on today. I've got a channel. It's Mike Hunt, SWGOH. Always remember the last bit, because otherwise you get completely different content. Well, maybe not completely different, but and I've got I'm playing around with loads of bits. Basically, I'm trying the new shinies. So I've done an Ebon Hawk video earlier on today. That was fun. I've got Grievous separatists going against someone. I think it's a Nest. Yeah, it's a Nest Scoundrel squad. Kira Scoundrel with Nest Zeta in Grand Arena. And I put up a Sith with Sith Empire Territory War Battle. That was bringing in the shuttle just to be able to showcase another shiny. Yeah, so at the moment I seem to be focused on the shinies. But please pop on by, and congratulations on 100 episodes.
Outstanding.
It's fantastic.
All right. Good old Maurice.
Good day. First off, I do want to congratulate you guys as well. And I want to thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to come on here and ruin the place every week. Even before you guys invited me, I tried to catch us every week. This is a great show, and I'm glad you guys have continued to push forward with it. It's a real useful tool for the community. I mean, I learned a lot just being on the panel, so this is a thank you guys. We do have a stream, Operation Metaverse, Tuesday nights, 9:30 EST. We are doing some videos currently on some utility type characters that you guys should consider amping up a little bit for the future. And I'm also on the stream with Ramon, like you mentioned, tomorrow night, Sundays. So, yeah, come check us out, guys.
All right. And then King Felix, anything you want to shout out, my friend?
I want to shout out RSG and everybody who comes on this panel every week and answers the people's questions. Also, Mighty Chlorians. And I'm just happy to be here and doing my best in answering your questions.
All right. Hey, last but not least, that leaves me and Finn. Finn, we got the ACS campaign. We got a lot of stuff going on. You want to close this out and tell the folks what we're working on right now?
Yeah, so we're doing our final push here for the American Cancer Society. We're going to have one more 12-hour live stream on March 30th. That is the weekend before we go to Disney and do the half marathon. So we're going to do that final push here to get to that 15,000 goal. We are at 11,043 on the Tiltify, so we are getting really close. We were going to roll the lightsaber once we hit the 15,000 goal, but there are some people that donated to the ACS page directly. And so once we included that money in there, the lightsaber will now be rolled once we hit 13,961 on Tiltify. So we are really just under 3,000 away from getting to the goal and the rolling of that really awesome lightsaber. So if you guys can, in the description of the YouTube video, there is a link to the Tiltify page where you guys can donate, and there's a lot of fun stuff that you guys can get. There are the wristbands, the RG wristbands with the Stu Strong campaign, so we can mail those out to you. We also have the ability that you guys can buy me a drink of your choice. I will buy it once I'm there, and you guys donate $25. Tell me what drink you want me to drink. I will go there and drink it and send you guys a video of me doing so. So those are all in the rewards. Plus, good old Maurice's dance video, who last week, I think it was, we announced that the winner of his poll for the bonus dance to the dance video was going to be the Truffle Shuffle. So good old Maurice is going to do the Truffle Shuffle. We'll add that to the video, and then once all of you that purchased it, we'll send you a link to download it, and you guys can get your good old Maurice dance video with commentary on all of that.
Yeah, the ladies won't want to miss this one, let me tell you. It's going to be
so we have those going. We still have some challenges available too, which include me having a porg with me when we have our get-together on Friday night before the run with the American Cancer Society people. So it's going to be the first time they're seeing us. They joined us on stream and whatnot, but this will be the first time they'll actually see us. And I will have potentially a porg that is dressed up. So this is a challenge on the Tiltify page. We also have a new one that we added, which is Grande and Ranger will eat a square from the world's hottest chocolate bar when we're in Orlando, if that challenge gets filled. So if you want to see Grande and Ranger eat a square from that chocolate bar, we will, if that challenge gets filled, we'll record it and stream it for you guys to see their reaction when it's happening. So, yeah. So please go to the Tiltify again. It goes to the American Cancer Society. Anything you guys can donate is greatly appreciated. Lots of fun things that you guys can donate to. And we're looking forward to the weekend with you guys. And as a side note, if anybody is coming down to Orlando during that weekend, please let me know on the Discord. We're trying to coordinate kind of some group activities of anybody from the community that is heading down there. Trying to figure out like when we can hang out for dinner and what we're going to be doing in the parks and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are heading down there that weekend, please let me know, and we're going to try and coordinate with kind of whatever group is going in order to get that done.
All right. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video, please, if you're watching this right now. Do the same for all these great guys that come on here. Check out their content, subscribe to their channel, support them. They come here to help you guys out, so spread the word on their channels. Same with ours. We've got our Patreon you can check out as well. And yeah, so on behalf of myself and the Jedi Council, thank you for 100 episodes. We appreciate all you guys, and we look at doing 100 more for you. So we will holler at you guys later. Peace.